Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you. Going to take a look at another TwoSun today. This is the TwoSun TS, should be the 465 and 14C28N, and we got this eyeball cactus looking at us, and the designer is QuestionMaks, M-A-K-S, QuestionMaks. I followed him on Instagram. He's only got about 15 followers at this time. And I don't know much about him, where he's from, or he doesn't have any posts. So I'm guessing this is his first design, at least a production design. So let's talk about this design. Well, one thing we have is a pistol grip handle. We'll get into that deeper. Titanium frame with G-10 G-Maxcus inserts on both sides. Notice how they are screwed in there. So this is a frame lock and a titanium clip. It has a cutout on the outside. And I don't see any evidence of milling on the inside, most likely because when they cut out for this insert, it's already pretty thin. So they would have had to take and cut this into this titanium, mill out this portion to set that in, and that wouldn't have left any room to mill out on the inside. We have a long back spacer, T8 hardware as usual. A nice touch to the milling here. Got all these lines. Okay, right there, you can kind of see them. Decent access to the lock bar. I would say free falling. Yeah. So I did take this part. This one I got as a return, and somebody played a naughty joke and took off the lock bar insert on the return just to be mean. But thank goodness I was able to get one, and we'll get that. So it's working. The detent, it's a large blade, okay? So it's not gonna snap. We got this nice, it's a nice finger deployment. Looks like you can do the switch, light switch, or the push. That's the push. Gotta stay off. That's all you gotta do, is you gotta stay off this bar. All right, ergo wise, very much makes me feel like I'm back. This is how we grip. If we can move up at all, that's not feeling real comfortable for me. And if we move up more, now I got my middle finger up here. Now I can engulf this whole frame, and all I got is just this working edge. So if you want to use it like this, I think it's going to be okay. You can use it like this pretty well. You can, the best thing I can describe with this is poking and slashing. As far as using it, I don't know. Maybe if you are in the kitchen, yeah, you get your entire edge on there. Your hands up out of the way. It's a tall, flat grind, and as usual, I'm confident in both the TwoSun steel. That's the 14C. I'm confident in its heat treat for toughness and edge retention. Of course, corrosion resistance. So let's see here. I have another knife which reminds me of a little bit. This one is going to be probably one of the all-time greats of TwoSun. This is the TS177. Notice the snap. I bring this out because it also has a position which puts you out in the back. It does. If you get a hold of this back part, one of the positions of this knife is out here. Okay, one of the positions, if you move forward, it crams you, and then if you can get up on it, you have nothing but the blade sticking out again, and you have a work knife. You can use it the same. So it actually, like I said, this was a home run for TwoSun. Probably one of their most expensive knives to get a hold of these days. It's a TS465, known as the Maverick, and part of that would be the way they've milled the outside, and you can get satin finish or stonewash finished on these, and this is going to be night morning design. So he's one of their greats, and this one came in N390. Now we have really a very much a I would almost call this a spear point. I love how this grind comes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, if you will, conversion on coming down on that tip. So very nice, thin and slicely. It's not as tall, so it's going to have a steeper blade grind, and this one is tall. Not sure what this top swedge is going to do. We do have some very light jimping. Doesn't really work that well, but you can see a little bit there. That's really about the only knife. The only other knife I could think of that might fit this category is my Sencut Actium, and it's kind of bent. It comes down here and then it has a squared. So if you go look at the Actium, you will see it has a place that fits into your hand this way, and then there's a move up where it gets into your hand that way. So I do have some dog treats to cut. How about we give her a little go, if you guys want to stick around for that. I'm going to try to get set up a little better. Okay, we'll see how we do. Woo! So, like I said, TwoSun, this thing came nice and sharp. I have to get it out here, and no troubles there. How about this one? Woo! Dude, wind got me. Something about the blade geometry. You might think you want those thin grinds, but I almost think, yeah, this is so much easier. What I'm talking about here, and I'm no knife designer, is when you have a thin edge and it gets thick, it actually seems to separate the material pretty well. So kind of doing some testing in front of you guys, getting some thoughts about my own thoughts about this. So thanks for joining me. Bye now. Oh, by the way, this particular version was available at White Mountain Knives for about 85 bucks. You can get one that is anodized, still has this rainbow colored G-Maskus. I think they kind of anodized it goldish, and it was 105, and I think it's still available. So if you're interested,